This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Jeff Gardner.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Today we have another good neighbor on, Darren Sampson with My Pet Pom Pom. Darren, welcome to the show, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having us on the show here.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I know the audience doesn't know this, but we met a couple times before. We've had some great conversations. I think your story is fantastic. I love how involved it is with your family, but I don't want to spoil anything. So let's get right to it. Let's tell the audience about your business. What do you do?
Okay. Well, the business is mypetpompom.com. Basically, we're a collection of adorable pom-pom characters, kind of like the pom-poms you would see on a toque. They snap on and off our exclusive line of fashion accessories, being toques, wristbands. We also have slippers and baseball caps and backpack latches, headbands, and we're coming out with a few more accessories going into the spring and summer. And it's a kid's toy and fashion accessory, but we're getting a lot of parents, teens, and adults enjoying sporting the wares.
It's beautiful, man. I love it. I just love it. So how did you get into this? Like, tell us why kids fashion accessories? How did you come to this part in your life, man? To wearing something as cool as you're wearing right now on your head?
Yes, this is actually one of our character designs. His name is Roll. He's a panda. He snaps on and off. And how did we get into this? It's a funny thing because it's kind of a random, spontaneous idea. It all started, my kids and I, it was a chilly February morning. We're walking to the dentist. And I think that's when inspiration hit us. They came up with the idea originally. They said, "Hey, daddy, what if the pom-poms in our hats were cute little stuffed animals and we can take them off and play with them?" I thought that was a great idea. And like what came out of my mouth instantly was that would make a great business. So for the rest of that day, we went to the dentist. We were thinking of business names. We went to the craft store. We bought a bunch of pom-poms. We bought a bunch of stuffed animals. We started cutting the heads off stuffed animals and sewing them to pom-poms. We created buttons, and then we thought, okay, well, what if we could attach these to other accessories? So we thought of wristbands and headbands and toques and slippers, and anything you can put a pom-pom on was kind of the idea. And by the end of that week, we had about maybe 10 or 12 prototypes. We had our whole line of accessories, and it was just more of a fun idea that was arts and crafts that slowly started to snowball into a business. We packaged a few of these up for some of my daughter's friends' birthdays that she was going to, and we gave them out as gifts. We tried to make them look like they actually came from a store, and we didn't tell anybody. And the feedback was amazing. The kids loved them, and that brought a lot of joy to my kids and myself as well, that our creations were, bringing joy to others. And we couldn't stop the momentum. So I looked into product development and coming up with their own character designs, and that's how it all came to be.
So this brilliant idea originated from a person how old?
She was 8 at the time.
8 years old. A budding entrepreneur. I love it, man. It's so good.
It was just fun, spontaneous.
Yeah.
And we went with it.
Yeah, I just love it. Just an experience out in life. Idea pops into the head, and now it's manifested into something that brings a joy to a lot of other families, adults, and children. You guys have made this work. I think it's great, man. So I like this question, but I can't really think of any for your industry. Maybe there is some that you know of, but can you tell us about any myths or misconceptions about maybe the fashion industry directed towards children? Any misconceptions out there about what you do?
Well, I guess a misconception about our product specifically is that I can think of two. The first one would be it's seasonal. I mean, because I guess our flagship product is our hat. Where we actually just launched just a few days before Christmas. We got all our products together. So being the winter time, we are kind of promoting the hat and the pom pom, and I think that's what people commonly think when they think of pom pom and toques is the hat. But we are an all seasons kind of brand. We do have baseball hats and wristbands and slippers, which we'll be promoting more when those seasons interchange. That would probably be one of the misconceptions, is that we're seasonal, and we're not. We plan to be relevant in every season. I think another misconception, what was another one that I had? Oh, maybe that we're just being fashion, that we're kind of really targeting girls specifically, where in fact we're not. We're going to where a lot of our marketing now does have girls as a primary target market candidate, but I think that's because, I mean, the idea was originated by my two daughters, but we certainly are incorporating a whole line of product that's going to appeal to both boys and girls. Heck, I'm wearing one right now, and I look pretty styling in it, so I don't think it's I don't think it's limited to just girls, but we do have some fun new designs that are going to be more universal, little monsters and robots and Halloween kind of line and Christmas line, where we've got a lot of ideas that we're going to unleash that should appeal to everyone, of whether you're a boy or a girl and any age.
Beautiful. So warm or cold, boy or girl, you all can have fun and look as rad as you do right now with it. Maybe even more rad.
Yeah, definitely. The kids, they glow when they wear these things. They're just a lot of fun. They're silly. It's silly fun, and that's what I need. There's no technology. It's just good old fun. Yeah,
which is great. If you can have fun at any stage in life, it's beautiful. If you can build a business created on fun and for fun, I think it's great. And that leads us into our next question, man. I imagine your business and working with your family is quite fun and fulfilling for you. But what do you do outside of your business that is fun for you?
Well, we are new to the neighborhood, and what kind of drawed us here was the more exposure to nature, having proximity to the lakes and the walking trails and the ski hills. So as a family, we're very active. I'm very active in anything that's on the water, whether it be windsurfing or I want to get into kiting this year. That would be a lot of fun. I can see them out on the lake. I've always wanted to try that. Kids are into gymnastics and dance. And as a family, we love biking and skiing in the winter and, just enjoying nature and being active out there. That's what we really enjoy to do as a family.
I love it, man. One of the privileges to me in doing this podcast is learning about so many different walks of life and what people's interests are, what they get up to after work. As we interview entrepreneurs only. So, and a lot of us are workaholics, right? It takes a lot to build a business, but I so often hear it's just the little things. It's the little things in life, being outside, being with the family, getting on the bike. Kiting is pretty cool. That's the first time I've heard that, but yeah, being outside and the little things connecting with nature and humans just seem to be so fulfilling. So I love that you do that. One of my favorite questions is the following. And the first question was more on the lighter side. This isn't on the darker side, I should say. I think there's a lot of positive benefit to asking these questions, but I think when we share our hardships or life challenges, that it can really resonate with the person that's listening, that's maybe going through something and not looking at being open enough to talk about our hardships as a weakness, but more as a strength. That some of our great role models talk about their hardships to show that it's part of the human experience, which I think it's a really important part. So what hardships, if you could share with us, what life challenges or hardships did you maybe choose to face or have to face? But certainly when you look back in hindsight, we're happy that you went through them, even if they sucked in the moment. Anything that comes to mind?
Well, that's a good question. I think I guess just following my entrepreneurial journey, it's been a long and curvy road of big ups and big downs. And leading into this business specifically, we started this whole idea was pre-COVID. It was literally probably a few months before the COVID started hitting the news. I was involved actually at that time in another business. I've just been a serial entrepreneur ever since I was a teenager. It's kind of been my vocation, and through thick and thin, let's say. And at that time, just before COVID, we were working on a project. It was a mobile application, and we did a lot of work with restaurants. We were trying to drive traffic back into restaurants, going against the grain of some of the trending apps, which were taking customers away from the restaurants, being Skip the Dishes and Uber Eats. Restaurants were in need of having more patronage, and we developed an app that was working. We were able to drive traffic into the restaurants through games. You play games and win prizes at local restaurants. We won Startup of the Year. We were on a really big high. We were looking into more rounds of financing. We had about 85 participating restaurants on board with our application in Toronto, and then COVID hit. And this was my business that I was running for. It was a partnership, and we were running this business for a couple of years. And the brakes just came to a squeaking halt when COVID hit. Obviously, we were working with restaurants, and the restaurants were all closing up. So that was a hardship. And at that same time, is when we were developing the idea of My Pet Pom Pom. So we were seeking suppliers, and we found a great supplier that could help produce our pom poms. And I was taking my kids to the business meetings, and we were all just, business was good, everything was great. We lined up a gentleman who wanted to partnership with us. This picture is actually on our website. He did a lot of novelty stuffed animals, and again, COVID kind of put the brakes on the pom pom business. So not only did my occupation come to a screeching halt, so did all the ideas that we had, and all of a sudden we're in lockdown as a family, and all of our ideas and businesses, everything was just locked down. So my story is one of many of the hardships that happened around that time in the year 2020. A lot of the restaurants that we became good friends with and were supporting, and they are actually out of business now. So it was a hardship that was experienced through my venture, but a lot of the ventures that were in the ecosystem of my business. So those two ideas came to a crashing halt. We persevered and kept the idea afloat through COVID. And unfortunately, the other mobile application business ceased to exist. I went on to do other entrepreneurial ventures, and did actually find some thriving opportunities over the last few years. And then as everything in the world started opening up, we dusted everything off, and with the idea of the pom poms, and got back on track. And here we are. So the hardships turn into, in this business specifically, amazing learning opportunities and examples for my kids to see the swings and the ups and downs, and what life can throw at you, especially when you're trying to embark on your own creative endeavors, and how to persevere and keep the momentum and get back on track when everything falls apart. So it's not always just up and smiles and fun, that there's the other sides of it. And that would probably be a whole podcast in of itself to talk about all the ups and downs that were happening around that time. But definitely an example of a hardship to answer your question there.
I love it, man. I think it was perfectly said. Perfectly said. The drive of an entrepreneur, never count them out. There's this no quit attitude when somebody is moving towards what they consider their purpose or passion, especially that you involved your kids. I'm not a father yet. I hope to be lucky enough to be a father one day, as I look at them as kind of the pinnacle of being a man, creating another human being and being a role model for life to another human being. I can't think of anything harder. I can't think of a greater responsibility, and I can't think of a greater reward. So the way that you tied it back for your kids to be able to see that life is challenging, but through those challenging are some of the greatest rewards. I just have this motto shared from my mentors. I think most of us have heard something like this. The greatest challenges in life come, or the most rewarding things in life are typically the hardest. So I love that you tied it back to showing your kids what life can be like, how rewarding, even through the phases that maybe don't feel so comfortable. I really appreciate you sharing that with us, man. And I'm glad things are going well. And yeah, perseverance seems to just be in your blood from the stories that you share with me so far. What is one thing you wish our listeners knew about your business specifically?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things I wish they all knew, because we're in the initial stages of being operational. We've been about 3 years in product development now, considering the COVID, almost 4 actually now that we're in 2024, and we just launched. We got everything together just prior to Christmas, so there's a lot I want everybody to know. But I think one of the key things that I would like people to know is that we are a family business. This is a thoughts to reality story. It's completely original. It was a very spontaneous, creative idea. That was thought of from my kids, and I thought it was a great idea. And we all the characters and the pom poms that we have, these little characters here. They are all original designs. We drew them. We did prototypes. We sewed them to create the production art direction. This is a completely novel concept from the ground up, and really it started with an idea. And it's not only just a business. It's a life lesson that I'm trying to pass down to my kids, is that you can take thoughts and turn them into reality. It's some of the books that I grew up reading and really inspired me as an entrepreneur, really nailed that concept firmly into my head, is that an idea is just an idea unless you create it. And that's something that I really want to pass on to my kids, is that, if you can think it and you can conceive it, you can create it. It just takes a little bit of hard work. It takes imagination and creativity, and a lot of determination. Like, the good things don't come easy. And this is 4 years to come up with to get this to a point where we are now. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the story that I really want people to know, is that this is a grassroots family business. We're very creative in putting it all together. We're not on Amazon. We're not anywhere else. We package everything ourselves. We create everything ourselves. We market, we sell, and we even put them in the boxes and deliver to our customers ourselves. So it's a really grassroots business, and we're having a lot of fun doing it, and we want to bring that fun to you guys. So yeah, that's probably one thing I'd like everybody to know.
I love it. I think you nailed it. I think you said it so very well said. And I love that you tie entrepreneurship to a path for life. It's not just work. It's not just a paycheck. I look at entrepreneurship as a path that I've chosen to become more self-aware, a better version of myself, maybe a better role model, to really challenge myself as it is challenging. The fact that your daughters are a part of the actual creation of this makes this so much more special for me. That you're doing something for these young kids that are designed by these young kids, their needs and wants, and you're kind of the guide, the direction to showing them how to do it. I just think it's a special concept, man. I'm really happy that things are going that way. And hopefully with a little bit more shouting out your name, it'll just add to it. My favorite question is, I look at business, being a son, being a partner, being a entrepreneur, all of these things as facets or categories of life. But the main game that I'm playing is the game of life. That's the arena that we're all in. And I don't know how long it's going to be. So I've been taught to think about, what kind of impact am I leaving? What kind of impact have I had? Certainly made some mistakes in my life, had some negative impacts. How's my impact working right now? What do I want it to be in the future? I try to think about it a fair bit. Is it a positive ripple effect? Is it a negative ripple effect? I hope it will be positive. But I like to ask other people, because I'm so curious about how humans think and why they're doing what they're doing. What kind of impact do you want to have on the world, Darren?
What kind of impact do I want to have on the world? That's a very grandiose question. I think that, I want to obviously leave some legacy for my children, as a father, and it's important to have respect from your kids, and admiration, and to leave them in a good give them a good platform, for all circumstances, not only reward them for when they do great achievements, but to help them persevere for when they're not. And I think that, as an example to my kids, in order to provide that kind of example, you have to kind of be that kind of example for everybody. And that kind of segues into your question, what kind of impact do I want to leave? I want to make sure that, when what I do in this world is ethical. I want to make sure that I'm an example of, health and fitness and enjoyment of life, and really kind of creating, opportunities where they don't exist, and harnessing a creativity that exists in this world that we all have access to. And if you can harness that creativity, you can really create magical things. It's like, it is magical to turn these ideas into reality. And some of these things that I have read through many of the mentorship books, that of the concept of turning thoughts to reality, have really inspired me, and have really changed my life in creative and unknown ways. And I hope that kind of catches on to others, my kids especially, that they have that capacity to create, and not only a product or a business, but to create a life, and a life that's fulfilling and rewarding and inspirational. And those are things that I seek out there for myself. And I hope that kind of curiosity to seek those things is out there for others to seek as well. It's a tough question. I don't know if I answered it very eloquently, but I just want everyone to enjoy this creative world that we're in and make the most of it.
Yeah, that's why I ask you, man, for answers like that. It's clear to me that you've thought somewhere along the lines of that question before, but being a living example of a fulfilling and curious life for the other humans that are coming after you to follow, to know how much potential we all have. Well
you
said,
do
man.
Better than I did. Thank you.
I get the benefit of coming afterwards, right?
Yeah,
Summarizing.
Summarize my rant.
Yeah, no, it was great. How can people find out about you, man? People that are listening right now that want to reach out, that want to support, how can they find out about you?
Well, I mean, you've been our greatest voice, the Good Neighbors podcast. This is an amazing opportunity. You've had us on the cover of your magazine, the Neighbors of Horseshoe and Shanty Bay. So, I mean, I first want to thank you, Jeff, for the opportunities that you've had or given us to voice our ideas and creativities in our business, mypetpompom.com. So that would be one stop where you can check out our story, where you can have a look at our products. You can see photos of us as a family, and a lot of the story from concept to production is all outlined, as well as a complete storefront where you can purchase those products. And if you're in the neighborhood, we do most of the delivery ourselves. So it'd be a great opportunity to reach out through the website, mypetpompom.com. And likely we'll get a chance to meet at some point with our customers. The other thing that we've just set up is our Instagram account. So just like our website, mypetpompom.com, our Instagram account is our handle is at mypetpompom. So it's instagram.com/mypetpompom will get you to the Instagram account. So following our Instagram account is a great way to keep abreast of our community endeavors, and having a look at some of our new product line and some of the developments of My Pet Pom Pom leading into the future.
Beautiful. So check out the website, check out their social medias, get yourself one of those Cool little pom-poms, man. I love it. And so you can look as rad as Darren and his kid.
One more thing, Jeff.
Yep.
So we've had the opportunity through a referral that you gave to us, Jeff, of working with the Glowing Hearts charity. One of the things that I wanted to really hit home with having a business that my kids are involved with is giving back to the community. So we've met Sarah Fleming from the Growing Hearts charity. What an amazing person. She's so dedicated. We as a family are now supporting that charity. We like to participate in some of the volunteer opportunities, and we also want to help raise funds for that valuable charity. So we're doing that in two ways. A donation of $5 for every POM purchase through our website will be directly donated to this charity through the month of February. And we also have an online donation form that you can access through our website, which links directly to their charity if you wish to make an online donation. They are doing incredible things in this community. I don't know if they are recognized enough, but a community is based on the evolution of the kids in the community, and they are really supporting and doing hands-on work directly with the kids that need it in our community. These are kids that don't come from wealthy families, that may have disabilities through just learning disability or any kind of mental health assistance. They're out there every day providing support for those families, which are going to be the future of this community. So it's important to make sure that, these kids are these disadvantaged kids are getting off to an equal start to everyone else in the community. So she's doing amazing work, and we want to support that. So Glowing Hearts Charity, you can go to that website directly. You make a purchase through our website, and we'll donate on your behalf. We'll put it right up, a link, the donation right up onto their charity. And we just wanted to get that out there while we have the microphone here. So thank you.
Absolutely, man. We had her on the show the other day. She's just a wonderful human being. I'm so glad you guys got to connect. And so not only can you get a great pom-pom for yourself, you can support a business and a local family who lives here. You can also support a local charity. So, I mean, that's what we're trying to do here, is connect good business owners and educators with the public to increase the quality of our lives and build a strong community together. So I think it's quite cool that you just shouted out Glowing Hearts Charity. They are a wonderful organization, and we love what you do too, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show today. It was great chatting with you.
All right. Well, thanks for having us, Jeff.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Midhurst. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpmidhurst.com. That's gnpmidhurst.com, or call 705-413-3775.